And Captain Gundaria making a positive move by deciding to take first strike.
What I'd like to see, though, from Zimbabwe's opening attack is just a bit more energy from Garava and Muzaraba need to take up wickets right at the top. Richard Garava from the Golf Course end. Pushkasham, Darren Gundaria.
Good start into a good length. And very, very interesting, the field. Just the slip in. And you'll expect that Ngarava will get some shape away from the left-hander here.
Yeah, a bit of a low one, a bit of a slow one. Sharma already looking to go onside. He's looking for that gap between mid-wicket and mid-on. There's some warning signs here from Sharma. Good Bennett catching next to Taylor on first slip. Yeah, immediately they set off.
Bit of extra bounce from this one. Managed to just control it well enough. Oh, opportunity. Gundaria nowhere near the frame. He could have taken his time, Marumani. There was no need to get rid of the ball so quickly.
Yeah, it was very short, Gundaria. The kind of fielder Marumani is a little impulsive and explosive at this stage.
That's the perfect word. Impulsive. He could have steadied himself, stood up, and thrown while balanced. Have a look at this. He's picked the ball up. He's not even halfway down yet. He's thrown the ball unbalanced, not giving himself the best opportunity to aim at the stumps and affect the run out.
A change in the field because of the approach of Sharma here. First sleep has been taken out. Bennett into mid-wicket. Yeah, that's fine enough. That's the first boundary to close off the first over. It'll be 6 after the first one for no loss.
First time he's got his line wrong, but have a look at this. It's just a little tickle. Fine, and it runs away. Quick outfield, good pitch. A recipe for lots of runs to be scored.
Yeah, first and done. 6 for no loss. Pushka Sharma. He wants to be explosive up on top. And he'll be supported by his captain, Darren Gundaria. What a grab! Ryan Bell! of the tournament. Muzarabani claims his first, and it is the skipper, Dylan Gundaria.
Well, a meter either side of Burl, and this could have screamed to the boundary. But what an outstanding catch. Diving forward to his left, low down, and it's gone quickly. Muzarabani has enjoyed that. And Zimbabwe dismissed the captain of Kenya. Six for one.
Muzarabani claims the skipper of Kenya, Rakib Patel. Now he wants to keep dancing on that line. That'll force him to play towards Musekiwa and Burl.
That is a grab and a half from Ryan Burl. It's a poor ball from Muzarabani. It's a nothing ball, really. And dispatched as it should have been.
Yeah, sometimes I tend to wonder, not being overly critical, but the first delivery, it was just a touch outside off stump, back of length. At that pace, got a wicket. Second one, batter looking to emulate that. Why would you ball short and straight? No protection on the boundary. Much better. Much, much better.
Slip's gone out to Muzarabani, mid-wicket. Gone in. End of the second, Kenya 10 for 1. Yeah, strong looking Zimbabwean side. They've had a great campaign so far. Brian Bennett, Marumani at the top of the innings. Brendan Taylor comes back into the side. The only change from the previous match against Tanzania for Zimbabwe. Ryan Burl's due. They'll be expecting some runs from him. It'll be an ideal time for him to do so as they look to win the semi-final and get to the final.
Yeah, the band is in full swing. So is the throngs of people right here at the Rare Sports Club. It's an all or nothing match here for Zimbabwe, the host nation. And Kenya is up and ready for a good fight. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa qualifier. Just one more spot open. in that sport will be to go to India.
Outside edge. No slip in place. Will run away for 4. He slashed at that one. What he's trying to do is get it square away from the third fielder so he can get the boundary there, but he won't mind. And the result is good.
Cracking shot. Back-to-back boundaries here. Just way too much width. Way too full. That's 9 runs off the first 3 deliveries.
This is more like what he was trying to do the previous ball. This occasion, he's just waited for the ball to get right under his eyes. Good transfer of weight into the ball. And that's why the execution is that much better from Patel.
Much better. Much better. In the previous match, around that area, that's where we saw those deliveries from Ben Chikongo from Namibia. Just getting that little extra bounce. But I must say, still a little too wide yet.
Yeah, you can see the frustration in Patel because he feels he's missed out. There was another opportunity there. This time it's gone leg side. They'll come back for 2. So it's a very good third over from a Kenyan point of view.
Yeah, that's clever. A successful over here for Kenya. 25 runs after 3 overs for 1 wicket.
Good awareness. Lovely cricket. Deft little touch. Closes off a very good over for Kenya. It's 25 for 1 after 3.
Yeah, a bit tighter. A little less impulsive this time around from Marumani. They're looking to Pierce here. Sharma. But Rakesh Patel is looking ever so dangerous. 18 from 10, but Sharma 6 from 8. It's always going to be difficult for a man of that stature and length to get to it. A good effort, though.
Yeah, there was an opportunity, just couldn't quite get there in time, was Zarabani. Don't be surprised if he continues to employ the short ball option. To Sharma.
That's put away. It's really good running. Great efforts here from the skipper. Sikandar Raza saves the boundary. And much to the delight of the Zimbabwean fans.
It's a good chase. Had he just kept his shape a little bit longer, he would have got more bats on that and probably the boundary as well. But Sikandar Raza, outstanding in the field, quick, agile, saves one.
That's a well-placed cricket shot just to the right of Bennett, and they pick up a single. Can they be able to pick up two? They won't. Brad Evans, arguably one of the best fielders in the Zimbabwe side. Right up there with the Marimani, Sikandar Raza, and Ryan Burrell. Four done. 30 for one. Garava, bit exorbitant. It's 2 overs, 21. Going at an economy of 10.5. On the other end, Muzarabani, same amount of overs, picking up a wicket. And a considerable 4.5 to the over. 2 more to go. The introduction of Brad Evans from the golf course end. It's going to be an exciting over. Either Kenya keep on being bullish. It's good looking. That's a good start. It's that length, Tino, that I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's certainly something in there for the Seamers. He's coming off a good return in the last game. 4 wickets for Brad Evans. And throughout this tournament, he's just continued to pile up the wickets. And I'd love that to continue today.
He's kept it simple, and it works. Sharma is looking to either work it to the onside or provide with and his slashes to the offside. But Brad Evans, a clever bowler, a bright future for Zimbabwe. Halfway through the third over, it's a trio of dot balls, and it's all about stringing them along. There's always what we call the fourth ball mentality. Yeah, full shot. Good cricket right there at Rural Sports Club. Both teams know what's at stake.
Brad Evans. Deep mid wicket goes back. Third comes into the circle to short third. This is another short one, or maybe full and straight. He's looked to go full and straight. I think it's not quite come out the way he wanted it to. Direct hit from the captain, but Sharma in comfortably.
Even if he was in comfortably, these are some of the things that you want to see. You want to see the fielder throwing the ball directly to the stumps, just as a warning sign to say they're here, they're awake. You want to see some of the fielders backing up after that ball ricochets from the stump. That's a good energy. That's a good sign.
Five gone, one more remains in the power play. Kenya looking good, 31 for 1.
They had a really good start, an explosive start. I mean, they're still going at 6.2 and over. Pushkar Sharma, a couple of nasty blows in the beginning. Now, falling a bit behind, 11 runs from 16 deliveries. Rakib Patel, 19 from 12. Mazarabani, 3. He's got a ball 3 on the trot now. Interesting decision here from the skipper, but he's the only bowler to have picked up a wicket. And yes, it does again. Look at him. Big celebration. Pushkar Sharma. That leg stump exposed and sent back to the dugout.
Yeah, he's just gone too far across the stumps. He's looking to get it fine on the leg side with the pace of Muzarabani. Unfortunately, he's just gone too far. Left the stumps exposed. Zarabani gets his second. Sharma goes for 11. 31 for 2 now, Kenya.
Bhuria comes to join. I'd say it is an interesting decision from Sikandar Raza to let Muzarabani bowl 3 on the tote. But he proved to be great captaincy. That middle and leg off stump found wanting. It's always going to be difficult to want to move across at that pace. Zimbabwe's managed to somewhat pull this back a little. Look at that. He was looking to go to the onside and just make use of the pace. But you'd have to be lightning quick with your decision making slightly square him up.
And Zimbabwe will want to bowl at the new man right now as quickly as possible. Get as many deliveries in there as they can, because Patel at the other end is moving along quite nicely. 19 from 12.
Just going at 5.5 and over right now. Oh, helped along. That's going to run through. That's going to be a boundary. And that closes the power play. The 6 down, 36 for 2. An equal measure. I think Zimbabwe will be happy at this stage. They've just managed to pull things back. Yes, Kenya scoring at 6 and over. And look at that power play. Great take there from Brian Brill. Couple of nasty blows from that short delivery. And again, back-to-back boundaries with an offer. Clever batting. And then was everybody came. The destroyer. Rod Evans. The finger goes up. Rod Evans has been searching. It's found. Harare Sports Club goes a light just outside the power play. And of course, Sachin Bhutia looking to go and just looking to work it on the onside and start rotating the strike. He's unhappy. But umpire's decision. It's final. Kenya loses their third. And definitely a cat amongst the pigeons now. Just mentioned that Zimbabwe will be happier in the power play as they managed to pull back the rate that Kenya was scoring at. And now just outside the power play, they pick up another. Brad Evans. However, not to be a little too ahead of ourselves, we saw what happened early in the morning. 4 early wickets for Namibia against Tanzania. And Tanzania just set their foot off the gas a little, and that partnership of Erasmus and Smith got them to 174. So Zimbabwe has control now. The run rate keeps dwindling and they managed to pick up consecutive wickets. Kenya's got their work cut out for them. And that is breeder partnership. Rakib Patel is looking good. 23 from 13. But Singh still to open his account. Yeah, a height issue. A bit of a give me here from Evans. Set off scot-free Singh. It was a difficult first 3 deliveries. The skipper warming up. He wants a piece of this action. Yeah, forcing good works. A 7 done. 38 for 3. Yeah, Sikandar Razzle back himself to come and cause a bit of trouble. Look at that third over. Skyrocketing. 15 in that over. That over of Richard Garava. However, it's the wicket. The second, 6th and 7th. Compliments to Muzarabani and Evans.
Can be so dangerous at this stage of the innings, Sikandar Raza. Soon after the power play, if teams have lost a few wickets, they've got a new batter in. He can be very quick to get in amongst them. Either get more wickets, or he just slows down that run rate monumentally.
Sikandar needs to be careful here, especially with his field set. He's got cover, he's got mid wicket. Don't miss out. Oh, chaos ensues. They come back for a second one. Unnecessary. 2 byes.
Brendan Taylor wasn't sure where the ball was for a while. Then when he found it, saw an opportunity there maybe to get a run out, but the throw off balance, too wide. What's happened to Sikandar Raza here? He's just limping a little after that last delivery. Seven off Raza's first over. 8 gone, 45 for 3.
That's smashed. It's out of here. That's 6 runs.
That has come out the middle and gone out the park. It's going to take some time, I think, for that one to come back. We might have to see the ball briefcase making its way out to the middle.
I can bet you my bottom dollar the way that was it, that should be on the 22 of the other rugby field.
So today's spare match official, Bongani Jele, brings on the balls. Paolo Guma. Oh, I thought he had a ball in his hand. He doesn't.
It's interesting seeing right here at her sports club. All sorts. Someone manages to run to the rugby field and collect the original ball. Brad Evans visibly shaken.
Good comeback. In the previous delivery, the length was a few inches fuller than that. And with that line, it's easy to pick up going leg side to the small boundary.
Rakesh Patel is Zimbabwe's thorn in their flesh. That's the man they need to get. He's caused problems in previous tournaments. He's got enough talent to be able to withstand one end on his own and drive this score to 170, 180.
Better, well bowled. First time today we've seen him just get that shape away from the right-hander, which used to be his natural stock delivery. Of late, seems as though Brad Evans is content just to get the ball to angle back in and nip back into the right-handers off the surface. Bill. Got an outstanding effort to get the first wicket from the bowling of Muzarabani. Just asked Muzarabani to go a little bit finer at 45. Quick single. Good running. Just realized that Ngarava was a little further back on the circle than he normally would be, and they stuck in the single. So 9 overs gone, 54 for 3.
Rakesh Patel, as mentioned before, the thorn in the flesh here for Zimbabwe. A single, nice and easy.
5.89 the rate, so it's come down since the power play. But with Patel there, it can continue to hover around there or maybe even go up. Thinking about two. Not a good idea. Not to Brian Bennett. He's got a wonderful arm. Rakib Patel. He holds the key to Kenya getting a big score here. It's important for him to allow all the other batters to bat around him. The striking of the ball and getting boundaries is not a problem. We've seen that he can do that. So the manipulation of the field and just also running well in between those boundaries will help the team a lot. He's found the little gap, but there is a partial parry from the Zimbabwean fielders. Halfway stage. A very good over from Sikandar Raza. 4 from that one. It's 58 for 3, Kenya.
Yeah, halfway stage, 58 for 3. Yes, they've picked up the scoring. Struggled a bit in the 5th over and the 7th over. And that led them to losing wickets. There's been a dry patch here for Zimbabwe. Tino Maposa from the golf course end.
Yeah, yet to see the best of Maposa in this competition. Love to see him get in amongst the batters today. Get some wickets behind his belt. Top edge down to 3rd. Won't carry Tungarava.
You could hear the comments and the slight annoyance from the crowd. Do you think that's justified?
No, not at all. They think that he should have at least tried to go and take a catch here. That's very difficult. And if you're not careful, those are the ones that land awkwardly. You don't get your body behind it, it goes for 4. But I think he's made the right call here, Ngarava.
Yeah, it's a good Yorker. Patel has just done so well to dig it out.
He looks very comfortable, doesn't he? Nothing much phasing him. He knows exactly where the fielders are. He knows where he wants to score his runs to which bowlers. And that's why I'm saying he's the key to Kenya getting a big score here. Because if he can hang around for the next 7, 8 overs towards the end and just allow the others to bat around him. Still 7 wickets in hand, of course, for Kenya. Slower ball. Maposa, good option. They come back for 2. Oh, now, if that had hit, that was tickets.
A really good throw from the boundary here from Garava. And a good decision from Taylor. Just to try and let it hit directly. However, in his movement, he kind of totaled Patel.
It couldn't have missed by that much because Brendan Taylor was directly behind the stumps and you saw him leaving the ball thinking it's going to hit. Couldn't have been much more than a coat of varnish, I don't think.
Looks like he's good to go. He moves on to 40 now. He is the in man for Kenya. He's the better to watch.
Would have gotten Garava some cheers after those jeers at the beginning of the over. And what field's he employing here? Fine leg was going back for a moment. He's no longer. Third, sweeper on the offside. Long on, deep backward square. Oh, that's not a good delivery. That's wide down the leg side, and especially because he's got a 45 in the circle, it's just a case of helping the ball on its way.
It would have struggled a lot, and that I would have witnessed a lot in this series, especially from some of these frontline bowlers. It's been consistency in terms of decision making. I'm not sure what he was trying to get from such a delivery. You've got your offside field flooded. You've got Garava on third, Bennett on backward point, Munyonga sweeping, Evans extra cover, and Sikanda just on the edge of the ring on mid-off. Same delivery. I'm not chuffed at all.
Yeah, he's got his lines wrong here, Maposa. Take those two wides away and it's been a pretty decent over. Needs to make sure he finishes well. Better. Nine overs will remain in the innings for Kenya after this delivery. They'll want to at least go at 8 runs to the over for the remaining 9. Bowled him. Couple of wides early on in the over. The last 2 deliveries have been spot on. Hits the mark, Maposa, with pace off the ball as well. And that sees the demise of Singh. So another Kenyan wicket falls. The 4th. Maposa claims his first. 64 for 4.
Yeah, much better from Maposa this time around. And Singh has to go back. He was really trying to play a supportive role, which is what Kenya needed and still needs. 11 done, 64 for 4. And definitely a cat amongst the pigeons. Still enough time for Gill to hopefully get as much strike as possible to Patel. Patel is the in-man, 41 from 29. It's a good over, yeah. Only 4 coming off of it. 12 done, 68 for 4. Yeah, Kenya needs to pick up the scoring. Still have 6 wickets in hand. And 8 overs remaining.
Eight overs remain in the innings. 5.67. They want that rate to go up, and it can as long as Rocky Patel stays there. 43 and 31.
A good start from Maposa. That's a quick single. Quick single.
Yeah, he's gone wide this time. Maposa just made sure that he's it out to the sweeper on the offside. That line's okay as long as he's got the length back and doesn't pitch it up and allow him to go over the extra cover or the middle of who's in the circle. Moves on to 44. Patel, he's played such a good innings. You barely noticed when he scored these 44 runs and where. He's just gone about his business. Rotated strike, got the boundaries when the opportunities come. Inside edge. And they've brought the fine leg up. So it's going to be 4 runs. The over had been so good up until then from Maposa.
Yeah, nothing you can do to that. Patel moves on to 48.
Inside
It was
edge.
not his intention.
And they've brought the fine leg up. So it's going to be 4 runs.
Can't really keep your fielders out in anticipation for such a shot. Good for him, Patel. 2 shy of his milestone.
Shouts of catch it. Won't reach. Musekua running off the square leg boundary. End of the 13th. 76 for 4.
Second on his last over. He's bought 3 for 13. He hasn't really picked up a wicket, but he's just managed to slow down the scoring. And he continues to do so. What's so tricky about his bowling is every single delivery could be something different. And Raket Patel is very conscious of where he is in terms of his personal score, in terms of where the team is, and in terms of what the team needs from him. That is
innings.
well batted. Raket Patel. 50 up. Well grafted, well crafted. 50 from 37.
Top innings. He's kept this Kenyan batting lineup intact while wickets have fallen the other end. But the job not yet done. So much still expected from Patel. If they could get another couple of knocks like this, scoring at 160, up in the air. But he's picked the spot beautifully over extra and against the spin. Wonderful placement and even better running from Kenya. The end of Sikandar Raza's fourth over, the end of his spell. 0 for 18 for him, 14 gone. It's 81 for 4.
It's good fight here from Kenya. It's good going for them. 81 for 4. Yeah, but there's lost wickets at intervals where they were supposed to be building a partnership. Naposa to continue. A brilliant effort though from Sikandar Raza. And his 4 overs only going for 18. 6 overs to go. How will they be shared?
Top edge, frustration again for Maposa. He's got good pace on him, and once you get an edge like that, it's going to fly away. I've noticed quite often that in his follow-through, Maposa quite often ends up on the floor. I wonder if that's something that he just needs to maybe have a look at and address.
Not sure if we're able to see that. And us become TV coaches. I'll have a look now at this delivery. See if we can diagnose something. Yeah, what you can quickly see and realize, Tino, here is he releases the ball, his head and his hands are not in sync. His head goes way down towards his knees. And he's quite top heavy as well. Especially when he bowls their effort ball.
$59 in just 40 balls, striking at 150. Of course, have been expensive today. The Sova's gone for 11 so far with a ball to go. $92 for 4.
Yeah, expensive Ngarava is as well. So it is 5 overs that remain. Ryan Burr hasn't been introduced. Brad Evans has got 1. Zarbani has got 1. Garava has 2. And immediately Ryan Bill gets introduced. Lee ball the 1 so that Evans and Garava can share the other ones. Well, if he balls well, he'll be kept on. Yeah, that seems to have caused some trouble here from Garava. That ball, he has to run it off.
Never pleasant, is it? It's hit quite firmly. Awkward bounce from Garava. It'll take some time for him to get up, but he'll be fine. So 4.5 overs remain. Kenya, 92. If they can push to go at 10 and over from here, and then that's more than possible with Patel at the crease, then they're looking at 140 plus. They're approaching 150. And if you've got that amount of runs on the board, then you've given yourself a fighting number. Enjoying themselves as they always do here at Harare Sports Club. Bear in mind, Garava's going to have to bowl in the next 2 or 3 overs. Finish off his spell.
Yeah, the Zimbabwe Cricket faithfuls are up in song. Yeah, anything north of 140 years is a very good score. looks to be good to go. Ngarava as we move from the hot spot. Try and hide him behind the wheeler. He's now on shot fine.
Googly from Ryan Burl, but it started way too wide outside the line of the off stump. It's not a bad option. Fortunately, straight at Muzarabani behind square.
You mentioned earlier how Rakhi Patel looks confident, looks calm, looks in control. And I like that about him. And this has been the difference, or what was the difference in the Namibian innings as well. Just being able to have a batter that withstands all the pressure. And the Namibia managed to find that in Erasmus and Smith. And I think Kenya are well on their way with Rakhi Patel.
Opens the face, finds itself racing away towards backward point. Sekiwa very quick. We can't prevent 2 for Kenya. 3 away from 100 now. Gets to the pitch down the ground. You get the feeling that if he hadn't got so close to the pitch of the ball, he was looking to go over.
A good thinking here from Burl. Throws it just a touch wide. As he saw Gill was advancing towards him. 16 down, 4 remain. It's 98 for 4.
One massive over of 15, the third one in the innings. And as we start to get towards the back end of the innings, there's 1 for 11, but they need more of those in these last 4. But Gill and Patel can provide that for them. 98 for 4, 2 away from 100. Ngarawa back into the attack.
Just a couple of moments ago, he was troubled.
It's gone straight up. Catch taken. The change works. And Zimbabwe get the man they were looking for. "100 wickets for Ngarava in T20 international cricket. You can see he gives thanks to the Almighty. More importantly, Rakhi Patel's gone for 65 and 47. Kenya now 98 for 5.
What a milestone for Richard Garava. 100 T20I wickets. That is massive. That is a massive achievement. What a career it has been, and what a career it will continue to be. Yeah, tricky waters to sail now for Kenya.
expensive. Ngarava. But put that aside. For a moment, he will savor this moment. His 100th T20 international wicket. What a servant he's been for Zimbabwe cricket. In this format in particular. It's given him great recognition around the world over the last couple of years. Turning out for franchises in the T20, Lanka Premier League, Caribbean Premier League, PSL. So just reward for the hard work he's put in over the years, this young man. Pace off the ball. Sikandar Raza turns around and gets there very quickly. They come back for two, though. Can't prevent that.
It's 100 up here for Team Kenya. At one stage, after they had lost a couple of wickets, you would think they'll struggle to get 100, but then Rakib Patel stood still, stood long. And now it is 105.
Marumani steaming around the mid-wicket boundary. Keeps it to 1. Kenya will look up at the scoreboard and they'll think, we've got to desperately try and get to that 140 mark. The problem they've got is Patel's gone. And they've only got 3 overs remaining after this delivery. $17 gone. 3 remain. It's 102 for 5.
Yeah, Randall just came in to bowl 1 over, went for 6. And the frontline spinner paces for Zimbabwe will share the remainder. Brad Evans still got 1 more over. Mzarabani has 1 more. Mzarabani bowled brilliantly up at the top. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to score against Mzarabani at that pace if you're constantly looking to create room for yourself and put the wheel up. Kundi and Gill here have been exposed to these situations throughout the tournament. They've fired many more times than they've misfired. So these are the 2 batters that will get Kenya to 140.
Maposa. Any other day would have held on to this. He's dived forward. He looks like he's got the hands underneath it, but doesn't hold on.
Just the impact of hitting the ground had that ball pop out. Some comforting words here from Wellington Masakadza. Yeah, sometimes you need it.
Zarabani just giving a little stretch to that left hamstring. When you see that and you're in the Zimbabwean change room, you hope that it's just a stretch and nothing more than that. Brian Bennett, very good. I did pose the question to Sikandar Raza at the toss this afternoon and said, having seen how the pitch played in the first match today and the first innings in particular when Kenya batted, what would you feel you're happy to restrict them to, or you can restrict them to, and feel you can chase? I didn't get a number out of him, but I think he'll be quite happy with proceedings at this stage.
You struggle getting a number out of him any other day, any format. He doesn't like to be preemptive. And I think over the years, he's just managed to get the art of just saying the right things, just saying enough so that you don't keep pushing. But of the two captains, I think he's the happier one. But
You might be quite right about not getting a number out of him, because before I've asked him, what do you think you're comfortable chasing on the surface when they've had to bat second? And his answer was one more than what they get, which means they win the game. But again, you say, he doesn't give a number so easily, Sikandar Raza.
Yeah, straightforward answers are not his thing. However, one captain is going to be happy at the end of this afternoon. Will it be Sikandar Raza or will it be Gundaria? 18 done, 107 for 5, which means 2 to go. Garava has one more. Muzarabani is done. Picked up 2 wickets for 19 in his 4. A really good spell.
That's gone up in the air. Munyonga runs in from sweeper, won't get there. Yeah, I think Gill and Kundi have got to throw caution to the wind here. They've got just 11 balls to try and get as many as they can on the board. Nicely done. Pace off the ball.
I like this from Garava. I'm sure if you have 100 T20I wickets, there's a lot of maturity that comes with it. There's a lot of experience that comes with it. And he's very well experienced in closing off innings. Muscled. Should be able to easily come back for 2. Now, even though there were no definite numbers, Tino, from either of the captains, I think Kenya would feel they're short and possibly Raza would feel that they did well to pull this game backwards.
Animated as ever, the Zimbabwe captain Raza, marshalling the troops, making sure he's got everybody where they want to be. Full and straight from Garawa. He's a bit disappointed himself, and he's thinking, I should have gone after that and tried to distract the batters from coming back for 2. 8 balls remain in the innings. The over is not bad so far. 2 balls to go, 5 from it. He's looking for 2 good deliveries to close this off.
Good going for Kundi, good going for Gill. Maposa send back to third. And Bennett up in the circle. Garava to Kundi. You're looking to go over the top. It just continues the angle.
He's gotten away with that, Ngarawa, because there was width and the length was there to allow him to go over extra and go over mid-off for a tall man. But he just hasn't kept his eye on the ball closely enough, Kundi, and that's why he's missed it. So final ball of Ngarawa's spell, final ball of the penultimate over. Gets a hold of this one, but there is a fielder back. Marumani does the cleaning up, and Ngarawa's spell will come to an end. His final over goes for 6. He ends up with 131, 1 for 31. It's 19 overs gone. 113 for 5. Final over for Kenya. You'll feel they're well short of where they want it to be. Evans will bowl it.
There's also one bowler for me that over the years, with the amount of opportunities he's gotten to be able to play, has improved so much. There's 3 overs. Only going for 12 and picking up a wicket. You'll be searching for one more in this over.
Struck well. Now the previous over, there's a delivery I spoke about to say there was enough width and length to go over the offside field. Kundi missed out on that one in the previous over. Gill doesn't here.
Yeah, he had enough time. You could see that that's the back of the hand. But I think it was a little too predictable. And Gill picked it up early. Six off the over so far, halfway through. Pulled hard. Only be a single. Bennett doing the hard yards on the boundary.
Been quiet in this fielding stint for Zimbabwe. Brian Bennett, normally see him racing around the boundary, and hasn't been so busy today in his patrols out at deep mid wicket. So a couple of balls now remain in the innings. Yorker, 1. Well, they come back for 2, and I think he's got home. No, he hasn't. Umpire Kuma says that's out.
Let's just rewind a bit back again to a couple of words ago. He's been quiet, and he shows you the very next delivery that has been quiet, but he's active. And he's effective. Yeah, running always on a misfield or in a fumble, it's going to be difficult. Way shot. Good throw. Good glove work here from Brandon Taylor. This brings Lucas Ndanderson.
Busy man, Lucas Ndanderson. Unfortunately, just the one delivery remaining in the innings. So doesn't have the opportunity to ignite some big hits at the back end of the innings. He's got one ball on strike.
Yeah, struggled to come back, Lucas Ndanderson. Could only get that last stroke. 20 done, 122 for 6. And it's done here for Zimbabwe. They'll need to get 123 to win from 120 deliveries. Mathematically possible. And on paper, also very much possible. But it's a game of cricket, it's a game of T20.
I lost the captain early, Dhiren Gundaria, and the one man who kept going throughout the majority of the innings, Rakhi Patel, 65 and 47. And then Sachin Gill towards the end, 19 and 21. So 122 for 6 on the board. They've got something there, Kenya. We'll have to wait and find out if that's enough for them to book a place to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
Mentioning how he got his T20I century and Marumani got 49 in the previous match. That alone tells you a story. If these two just stick it out, I'd like to see Marumani come off today. Kenya has got some work cut out for them. But they've got a lot of experience in Gill and Ndanderson. And if they've done their homework, they'll know nothing short and straight for Bennett. And they'll know not to give Marumani with. I'm sure this is homework that they all have done.
Brian Bennett will know and expect that from Gill because he's done it all tournament long. Just gets the ball to swing back into the right-hander, hits good lengths early on. Gill himself will know Brian Bennett very strong offside. So you don't want to give him the ability to play freely through there, and that's why he's got a packed cover ring. 5 fielders in that offside, no slip. Out the middle. Brian Bennett opens his account with a 6.
You could not script this any other way. Brian Bennett is expected. He's just batted so well in this tournament. And one thing I like about him is he's got his words and he's got his actions backing each other. He mentioned in the post-match interview when he got player of the match, keep it simple, know your areas, and trust the process. An exciting way to open the account.
Looking to go down the ground this time. It's that bit of in-swing that's made him not hit in the middle, just get the inside half of the bat. This is the other one, the away swinger. I think Gill could just be thinking to himself, leg side, short boundary, and it's easy for Bennett to target that direction.
And a good bowling here from Gill. Yes, has been punished from that one-shot delivery that he bowled, but he's managed to come back. He managed to start well, and he'll be looking to close off this over in a strong fashion.
Well, that's kept a bit low. At the same time, not quite the length that Brian Bennett should be looking to pull. End of the first over, good comeback from Gill, 6 for none.
He doesn't look too good. He doesn't look 100% here, Gill. Immediately after that over, a very good over. Holds his knees, catches a breath. Brian Bennett to Marumani right up at the top, and the return of Brandon Taylor will just bring some calm and control in that Zimbabwean middle order. Sikandar Raza was due, as well as Ryan Burrell.
Good.
Peter Langert. I quite enjoy watching him bowl. He's got a little sway to his step. Keeps it nice and simple. Fine leg out. Yeah, miss hits it. They come back for a second one. Yeah, Bennett looking to take advantage of that field on the onside and just hit it over mid wicket. But he missed times this time around. But still able to pick up two.
He's got to stay away from full to Bennett here. with mid-on and mid-off up in the circle. Outside edge. Past the keeper. No slipping. Another boundary for Bennett.
Yeah, you wouldn't really think that Langert will bowl with a sleep on. Surely it's painful for him to watch, but really good bowling. A runner ball for Zimbabwe. Put down, Brian Bennett. He survives. This is the man you don't want to be dropping.
It's not often that he gives opportunities, Brian Bennett, but when he does, you need to take them. He struck it firmly, but this should be taken. Bennett survives. Pulled away by Marumani. Nitish gives chase. Zimbabweans will get 3 to finish off the second over. 17 for none. .123 required for Zimbabwe to get into the final, more importantly to confirm their place at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. Gill.
That's some good piece of work here from Kenya. They'll need to up the ante.
Packed offside field again for Bennett. This time he looks to go straighter down the ground. There's one thing about Brian Bennett, whether you've dropped him or he's given an opportunity, he's not afraid to go back to his factory settings. If the ball's pitched up, he's going to look to hit it, and he's carried on doing that.
Such a fine young cricketer. He doesn't get it fine enough. And I think this is the story to his success, Brian Bennett. He's very unorthodox, not so textbook. He just plays cricket his own way, and it ends up just working out for him. Slip in for Marumani.
Nice. It's over pitched. Restrictions still in place. Marumani back past the bowler for 4.
Yeah, well weighted. Yeah, Marumani was with an offer, but he just waited for it. And this was intentional for him to be able to hit it straight. Usually you'd see Marumani just throw his hands at it and belt it through the offside. But this time around, it decides to take advantage of the field and restrictions. 6 off the over so far, 2 more remaining.
He does this so often to the left-handers from over the wicket. Sachin Gill, because he just has the ability to swing it away from them. Missed out, Marumani. End of the third, 23 for none.
Brian Bennett, 14 from 12, and Marumani, 9 from 6. Taylor to come, Sikandar Raza, Ryan Brill. Still to see Musekiwa and Munyonga. A lot of batting to come for Zimbabwe. And the man that could only get 1 stroke in comes in to ball from the city end. Lucas and Dunderson went in on the last delivery. He'll be looking just to slow down the scoring rate of the Zimbabweans. However, he gets a baptism of fire. 4 runs, Brian Bennett.
He'll do this, Bennett. Has so much confidence about his game and so much clarity in what he's trying to achieve. He goes again, this time over the offside, Brian Bennett. So, back-to-back boundaries to start the 4th over.
This is just so good to watch, Brian Bennett. He never backs out of a battle, and once he makes up his mind, it's done. And the thing is, Lucas and Anderson barely bowls a short one. He's bowled full and straight on the on stump. He's been dispatched. Long one is out.
This time it's the cut shot. Dunderson's pulled the length back slightly, but enough width on the offside for Bennett to find the gap. 4-4-4.
Yeah, it's a 3 or 4s yet from Bennett. There's only 2 ways here for Danderson to be able to redeem himself this over. If he's got it in him, hard, back of a length to short, into Bennett.
Pulled leg side. There is a long on, but it doesn't matter. Wide of him by Bennett. 4 boundaries and 4.
quadruple.
Ah, Brian Bennett. What an over from the young man. Danderson, hands on hips. He's got no clue where to bowl to Bennett.
Make this 5. 20 off the over. Brian Bennett. Make that an over full of fours. Brian Bennett. Just so good to watch.
24 off the over. 4 overs done. Zimbabwe 47 for none.
Straight dispatched. Wide dispatched. Short dispatched. Full dispatched. Brian Bennett. It's just so good.
What an over it's been from Bennett. From Zimbabwe looking like they had a circumspect start. They now race to 47 in 4 overs. It is now an explosive start from these two. Such freedom Brian Bennett he possesses. Now Zimbabwe well on their way. 76 required now.
Incredible running. Incredible batting here from Zimbabwe, the ball play.
Yeah, they've had to turn to spin, Kenya, probably sooner than he would have liked. Gundaria, because of that previous over. Marumani, he's strong leg side, and he goes leg side. 1 bounce to the sweeper fielder.
He's unhappy that he just managed to pick up that field on the boundary.
$50 up. Goes straight down the ground. Yeah, he's gone again. He's not going to stop Marumani, especially if there's just one fielder back at the moment and the ball turning into him. There's a long on in place. He needs to make sure that he's getting that ball fuller so Marumani can't do this.
What's incredible to watch between Bennett and Marumani is how they feed off each other. He's such incredible talent for Zimbabwe cricket. Goes higher. Goes backwards. A couple of bounces over the boundary. Turning out to be another big over.
The problems here for Dinesh Kundaria and Kenya. He's got more of a top edge here, Marumani, but it doesn't matter because there's no fielder there. And that's the reason why he's playing the stroke. So Zimbabwe scurrying along. 1 ball to go in the 5th over, 59 for none. And a very relaxed change room. Into the 5th over. Zimbabwe 59 for 1. Short one. Bennett not interested. Oh, Bennett. He'll feel he's missed out because he's looking to go over the offside. He's just got through the ball before it's got there. Probably just a little too eager.
There was pace off that delivery. Zimbabwe moves on to 60. Now they only require 63 from 88 deliveries. Good call here from Bennett. Marumani was eager to come back, but he was the one coming to the danger end.
Zimbabwe marching on. 61 halfway through the final power play over the 6th. Gill getting the fine leg fielder to go squarer. Is he looking to bowl a short ball? Yes, he is. And Bennett says, fine, you want him squarer? I'll go straighter.
Bennett races on to 44. Zimbabwe 65. He just times the ball so well. And that 65-run partnership from 34 deliveries. These two have been outstanding at the top for Zimbabwe.
What they've basically done in that power play so far is just bat Kenya out of the game. Now there's a deep mid-wicket. And a backward square leg to Brian Bennett. Big side boundary. And he's got to go very straight here. Otherwise, Bennett can take it through the offside.
Seven off the over with one more to go. He's hit it fine enough. Marumani, a boundary. He moves on. He kicks it up a notch. He moves on to 25.
Not the most convincing pull shot from Marumani, but the result is what matters for Zimbabwe at the moment. End of the power play. 70 for none and just 53 now required for Zimbabwe. Babalo Guma signals the second power play, and this is how the first one's gone. Brian Bennett has been explosive. Marumani has played second fiddle to him. And this over was a huge one. 6 fours in a row for Brian Bennett, and he peppered the boundary leg side and off. Lucas Ndanderson, just that one over for him, taken out of the attack immediately after that. Bennett goes straight. There's a fielder back. It does not matter. 50. And Brian Bennett's sublime form continues in the tournament.
He's been outstanding in this tournament. It all started in Bulawayo a couple of weeks ago. And I mentioned in the previous over his timing. He's hit this one well. And 6 runs. Goes again. Has he got enough?
Wonderful catch at long on. Just doesn't have enough on this one, Brian Bennett. Gundi's a tall man, and that's helped him. He's timed the jump perfectly as well. So the entertainment from young Brian Bennett comes to an end here at Harare Sports Club this afternoon. But you'll feel that his contribution is more than enough to help his country get over the line. That's an outstanding bit of fielding. Down at long on. And Zimbabwe lose their first. Brian Bennett has to go for an entertaining 51. 76 for 1.
Skipper Sikandar Raza comes in. The platform has been set. Skipper due for runs.
He's done well to hold on to that. Be interesting to see what an effect it'll have on the scoring rate for Zimbabwe in the innings as the captain Skandaraza walks out. Looks for the reverse sweep. Marumani finds the fielder. $78 for 1.
Yeah, Kenya had lost a couple of wickets at this stage. Zimbabwe has only lost one. And they lost Brian Bennett after scoring 51. A quick fire 51 in fine form. Brian John Bennett. They're requiring now 45 from 78 balls. It's wide given. Skipper Gundaria takes matters into his own hands.
Less than 50 needed now. 43. And 78 balls. Captain Gundaria brings himself on. He's had a decent tournament with the ball in hand, actually. He comes into the attack today with just not too much to bowl at. Devastating at the top of the innings, Bennett and Marumani.
Yeah, they take a single in front of Anderson. Zimbabwe flying here towards the target.
Beautifully straight from Marumani. That's poor running from a Zimbabwean point of view. They should have got two there. Good from Raz's opposing number, Gundaria. Seen once again as soon as the spinners come on after the power play. Just put a squeeze on that scoring rate. Single. Outside the line of the off stump. That's kept a bit low.
Yeah, Marumani was looking to muscle that over cow corner towards the boundary. A successful over in the end here for skipper Darren Gundaria. 8 done, 84 for 1. They need 39 more runs to win from 72 deliveries. And Zimbabwe, from the early moments, especially from that third over, they started firing it up and never looked back. It hasn't really slowed down even after the departure of Bennett. Goes in the reverse. Just hits that so well. Marumani fielded no chance.
Yeah, Patel, probably of the Kenyan spin bowlers, bowls the quickest out of all of them. Gondaria knocks the ball with pace off it. But Patel, very quick and flat, the majority of his deliveries.
They're missing out. Just looking to urge it and wrist it onto the onside, but there's a deep fine leg there. That's hit well for a single.
Yeah, that struck firmly. Either side of the fielder, that could easily have been a boundary. It's called for 2, Raza. And they'll get it quite comfortably, Zimbabwe. So end of the 9th over. 89 for 1. Like to see Marumani just bat through the innings here. Got himself some sort of form in that previous game, even though he fell short of a half century, but just to keep that confidence up going into the final, you want to ensure that you just bat through this innings, get the team over the line, and learn to do these habits over and over again.
That's the only way you can garner experience. That looks good. That looks good for 2. Great awareness here from Marumani. Hit it wide enough. That's a boundary. Misfield. He cannot believe it.
Get some encouragement from his fellow fielders. But that is poor. He should really have stopped that. Slog sweep from Armani.
Yeah, Gundare fighting hard here for another breakthrough. Sent back Raza. Halfway stage, Zimbabwe. A 98 for 1. Zimbabwe now needs 25 runs from 60 balls. Marumani goes on a switch hit.
$100 up for Zimbabwe. Marumani 39 now and 25. Raza uncharacteristic, the captain, 6 and 11. Fielder back and gone. You could just sense that Marumani was going to throw it away. And hence the reason why I said I would love to see him bat through the innings and take responsibility. Going way down the leg side, he could have hit this anywhere, really. But he succumbs to the spinner, and he goes for 39, Marumani. Ryan Burl will walk out. Zimbabwe 100 for 2.
A wall play 39 from 26 right at the top here, Marumani. Set Zimbabwe up. Zimbabwe lose their second, 100 for 2. In that World Cup qualification. In touching distance.
Gentle inquiry from Faraj Patel. $101.
Harare Sports Club becoming alive as Zimbabwe is within distance for India 2026. The castle corner goes loud. 11 overs done. 102 for 2. Not sure what to quite make out of it. Ahoy, my comrades are here. Harare Sports Club goes into song. Customary. Big support. The host nation. Cricket lovers. The job up for Ryan Brill and Sikandar Raza. to fly the hopes of a nation. Zimbabwe starved of this opportunity in Namibia. But this time around, on home soil in front of the home crowd, they've played really good cricket. Not only are they singing, but you can sense their happiness. It's cruise control. It's easy going now for Zimbabwe. Kenya still with a dog in this fight. However, what differs now is the size of the dog in the fight. And sometimes size matters. Gundaria still fighting.
You just feel if Gondari had come on when Zimbabwe still needed 90 or 80 runs, he could have slowed it down a little bit, maybe created a few more opportunities, but the opening partnership made it very difficult for him to be effective. Now they're enjoying themselves. They've been well entertained. 12 overs gone. It's 103 for 2. Zimbabwe required just 20 now.
Harare Sports Club in full song. 20 from 48. The hopes of a nation becoming even more and more alive.
Castle corner in full cry. As Hirani comes into the attack. Raza. What is he going to do?
Yeah, no pressure whatsoever here from Ryan Brown and Sikandar Raza. The work has been done. And credit to Marumani, credit to Brian John Bennett.
Ball turning into Brian Bennett. Yes, it's the big boundary leg side for him to the grass bank. But I wonder, how long will the temptation stay away to go leg side, the big one, because he does it well. Zimbabwe just doing this at a canter now. Less than 3 needed to the over. Thought about it. He thought about it, Brian Bennett. Probably what's got him to change his mind is that one just a little bit flatter and quicker.
hit that well. Sweeper out there. It's vibes right here at the Rare Sports Club. It's an oscillation between the choir and the band. It's 13 overs done. It's 107 for 2. 16 more required from 42. Namibia has done it. It's all up to Zimbabwe or Kenya right now. Taken. The skipper Sikandar Raza. This tournament, he hasn't really lit on. Has to go 10 from 18. However, he might be disappointed in himself, but surely not distraught. He would have loved to be there till the end.
Yeah, just never looked himself today, Sikandar Raza. 18 balls for his 10 runs. Zimbabwe lose their captain. They lose their third. 108 for 3. Tony Munyonga is the new man in. He joins Ryan Burl. Just 15 now for Zimbabwe. And cross the right-hander from Gondaria. How good has Gondaria been? 2 balls to go in his last over. 1 for 15. And that's why I keep reiterating the fact that had he come on to bowl when Zimbabwe still needed 80 to 90 runs, then he could have just added a little bit more squeeze. Maybe created pressure for wickets to be gotten the other end, but time he walked in, it was almost too late for Kenya. 110 for 3. There you go. That's more like it. Ryan Burl gets to the pitch. Dispatches it quite comfortably over long on. Zimbabwe will make a surge for the finish line now here. He's probably got that a lot more aerial than he would have liked, but he's still got the distance nonetheless. So Zimbabwe require just 7. Then they will book their place to India and Sri Lanka 2026. Down the ground. This time he goes straight. I'm not sure that's the direction he was looking for, Ryan Burl, but the result is good nonetheless. 3 required now for Zimbabwe. Short. And there is a sweeper on the offside. Two runs needed. Zimbabwe will confirm their place as the final African team to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. Namibia became the second team to do so this morning. Zimbabwe, with 1 more run, will become the third. They will get themselves to the final. They will play Namibia here at Harare Sports Club on Saturday afternoon. 2 teams that have had 100% record in the tournament so far. And there you have it. Zimbabwe over Kenya by 7 wickets. They booked their place for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, India, Sri Lanka 2026. And the memories of 2023 in Namibia erased. The fans have been fantastic at Harare Sports Club as always. And Kenya will think to themselves what might have been had they managed just to get a few more runs on the board and had a better start to their bowling innings. Held a couple of opportunities. Who knows what may have happened. Zimbabwe will feel they could have been slightly more clinical in the manner in which they've got over the line, but they won't mind. A week ago, they set themselves out to qualify for this event, and qualify they have. 1 more game, of course, for them, the final against Namibia. They'll go away today and celebrate getting themselves to that world event and come back on Saturday refreshed and take on what has been a very good Namibian side in this tournament. Brian Bennett outstanding once again, 51, I beg your pardon, in 25 balls. Marumani supported him well, 39 and 27. Yet another half-century partnership between the two of them. Their contributions more than enough to get Zimbabwe over the line by 7 wickets. Tough going for the Kenyan seamers up front. They were all very expensive. Raj Patel, 2 for 29 and 4, the pick of the Kenyan bowlers.